position, guys who are going to fall in the real draft that we would take. So this is just kind of our prediction for the mock draft. But let's start off, Justin, with pick 10, our first round pick. A lot of talk about what the Bears are going to do with this 10th pick.
Yeah.
What did you end up going with?
So I'm not going to lie, because we had a Google Doc that we both edited on, and I'm not going to lie, our picks are exactly the same.
Yes.
But my pick is going to be Tyler Warren out of Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to get a high-value position player, and I like what Tyler Warren has done, for the Penn State Badgers, right?
No, Nittany Lions.
Man, I am.
Badgers are Wisconsin, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done the episode, so I don't remember anything, unfortunately.
March Madness got your brain in a with all these teams. Yeah,
it did. It really did. No, but I mean, just looking at his film and looking at his work, I think he's an explosive guy, and I think he'll definitely pair great with Cole Kmet. I think he can definitely be a successor, especially with our new offensive coordinator, and kind of really just being under Ben Johnson. I really think he is going to be a good piece for us in the future, and it doesn't really hurt us. I mean, we still have Cole Kmet. Yes, does he have some blocking issues? He does, but I think it's a good, low-risk, option.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at a guy like Tyler Warren, he is just – the way I would describe him is like a weapon. Mm-hmm. He is an absolute weapon at tight end. And now that we have an offensive coach in place like Ben Johnson, I trust that Ben Johnson will be able to get the most out of Tyler Warren, right? Yeah. He did that with Sam Laporta in Detroit. Sam Laporta had a historic rookie season for them. And he was – now, I will say a caveat. In my mock drafts, the vast majority of mock drafts that I did, Will Campbell and Mason Graham were not available at 10, right? There were a few where Ashton Jeanty was available at 10, and we'll talk about him in a second because, trust me, we all know you're waiting for us to talk about Jeanty.
Everyone wants to know, so.
But just to put that out there, in the vast majority of mock drafts I did, Will Campbell and Mason Graham were not available. So I'm acting as if they are both off the board at pick 10. Like I said, Tyler Warren, look at his stats at Penn State. He was a monster at tight end. He was just an incredible receiver. He was a go-up-and-get-it guy. He was an after-catch guy. And they even put him at quarterback a little bit last year in the college football playoff. He is incredible. He's a great athlete. I think, like you said, a safe pick. I think he is one of the safer picks in this draft, right? One of the few, I think, certified this guy's going to be a good player. And like I said, I trust Ben Johnson. I also think it doesn't hurt to have a little bit more beef up front. Not that he's a tackle by trade, and not that even his blocking is the best part of his game, but I do think he'll become a better blocker than Cole Kmet is. And my last note on this is I am not a huge Cole Kmet guy, unfortunately. I think he's like a league average tight end, and I think if you're in a position where you can get a premium player at the position, then you can go ahead and do so. Again, I think premium offensive lineman would be gone at this point. The premium interior defensive lineman would be gone at this point. We don't need quarterbacks. There's not really a premium corner in this draft. That will be there at 10. My guess is I think Will Johnson and Travis Hunter will be gone. So at this point, I think take best player available, take Tyler Warren. Now, what everybody's going to be commenting, what everybody wants to know, and this, that, whatever. What's the deal with Ashton Jeanty? So I think there's a couple of things to talk about with Ashton Jeanty. Number one, there's a good likelihood that Vegas takes him at 6. So maybe we don't even. Maybe this conversation is.
I don't even know if he'll even
mute,
be
right?
there by the time.
He might not even be there because apparently Pete Carroll and the Raiders. I almost said Seahawks. Wow, muscle memory. On the Raiders are very interested in his services. But let's say he is there at 10, Justin. What would have to happen for Jeanty to be there at 10? What would have to happen for the Bears, for you to feel confident in the Bears picking him? Would there have to be, all of these players that we've talked about already taken? Would you think, if Ben Johnson likes him, you're cool with it? Like, what would be the circumstances in which you would be happy with the Bears taking Jeanty at 10?
I think if he feels – I think it's more of a confidence scale. I think if he really feels like we are already set as a team of what we did in the free agency, period, which we made a lot of great moves. Yeah. I think, honestly, if he thinks that we are really set in that aspect and he's like, hey, we're good to go, then I think he'll make the choice for Jeanty. But I'm also with you as well. I think the Raiders are going to pick him up. I mean, they already have their quarterback and former Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith. Yeah. I think that, Pete Carroll, I think that is a more lucrative target for Las Vegas than, let's say, at Chicago. That is kind of more, I mean, we have more talent than the
Yeah.
Raiders, obviously. So I think by just having that in there is big too. So I think it's more of a confidence thing. I think if Ben Johnson looks at our roster and says, "Hey, I don't think we really, if we have a chance to grab him, he's there. If not, I think it's fail safe to go with, Tyler Warren or somebody else that's on the offensive end of the football."
I do think if we end up taking him at 10, that means that Ben Johnson will see him as like his Jahmyr Gibbs, which, as we know, Jahmyr Gibbs has been one of the best running backs in the NFL the last couple of seasons. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to like with Genti. He's a great player. I don't want him to seem like he's a bad player that I just don't want. He would be a great player with the Bears, but I think running back at our current position is probably not our best use of resources. Is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. But let's move on